next. So find your way over to the front porch, and we're going to start here soon with Eva Alessiagri. So very excited about this. We'll announce it up here soon, but I'm just trying to tempt you. Come on over here to the front porch. You know you want to. We love you here, so come on in.
Hi, welcome. I'm Eva L. Alessiagri. I am an author who writes science fiction fantasy, and I'm sharing some stories with you about cosmic connection. There are some characters I've written about here in Bones of Starlight who I call the Kao-Sidhe. They're an interplanetary cosmic fae. They manifest throughout the cosmos in personifications of common phenomena, beautiful or unique, specific. They're personifications who can communicate back to people who can perceive them. And so it's like our conception of fae, but they're like extra dimensionals who have already visited our planet and who belong here as much as we do. And that's very similar to our definition of fae anyhow. So thank you for joining me for a chill out half hour of storytelling. I'm just going to ring things in a little bit and introduce all these characters to you and their ideas. So she is an ancestral word that means the magical fae beings for fairy. And they are here. So this is Rosy Glow. She goes by she, and she personifies everything rosy. She's in the sunset. She's in roses. She's in flowers. She's in the flush of cheeks after healthy exertion, and she translates into every language. So, the way you see something on someone's cheeks, that doesn't take, it takes some explanation, but there's a special connection there. And this is Rosy Glow, and Rosy Glow is often seen with dragon food. So dragon food is attractive, is interesting, is exciting, is delicious, is amazing. That's dragon food. That's the kind of food dragons would eat. And they love each other. They actually love each other a lot. Rosy Glow and dragon food. So that's one cosmic connection we're bringing in here. There's some of the Kao-Sidhe ambassadors. And they connect, so they're on multiple planets, like dragon food, this most ultimate, delicious thing that it's impossible not to want, that we just absolutely really want to have. That's in a lot of places. There are bacteria on other planets we hear about. There are whatever beings that might be out there on planets like ours, beyond our comprehension, that love what they eat as much as anything possibly could. And Rosy Glow is pretty much often there too, making things a little pinker. So I have some story to share with you. here we go. They're trying to find her. They need her and they're trying to find her. And the Princess Ascendant is out in the middle of space, a little bit stranded, with dragon food. So she needs to summon it, and he's telling her how to summon Rosy Glow. And she says, how? Could you perhaps exert yourself until you're flushed? Assessing him carefully, Soleil asked, would push-ups be okay? In response to his blank look, she explained, exercising. Perfectly fine, I think. Have a good workout while I meditate, and thusly together we can summon her. You don't have to do anything. I just have to think about her. I'm more practiced at that than anybody. I'm also going to watch for the witnessable phenomenon you create. Indeed, I'm watching for Rosy Glow. Go ahead, when you're ready. Game to try, the young woman shook her frame and dropped down to do push-ups. She didn't bother counting, since number probably wouldn't matter. Maybe she'd have to break her personal best, or just break a sweat. Push-ups till the lady shows up, or a new epiphany was achieved. The thought that Rosy Glow might just show up to view this amusement crossed her mind. Okay, she's here. I'm here to what? Rosy Glow shimmered warmly inside the bubble of the Stand Rides field. We want to talk to this, Dragon Food said, gesturing to the vehicle, to try to help her reach terra firma. She's trying to get back to her home planet. It happens sometimes to people who live in space. You want to communicate? Well, I can certainly help. These I know. They respond to me. Rosy Glow lay fondly upon the controls, appearing ready to take a nap, though she mumbled coherently through closed eyes. Her sunny complexion and rosy cheeks were framed with curly waves of copper hair, which, along with streaming wings and dress of sunsets and nebulae, leaked its colors into the machine's outlets. When she opened her eyes, they were as if made of flower petals. What a good model, so new and strong. How, where? Access to the Donnie human language learning modules. Okay, so it should understand you better the more you talk to it. I've never needed to talk to it before. Now you can, and this one already likes you. You can imagine Rosy Glow's sunsets and nebulae just wafting around her. And so that's one person being able to call another by knowing them so well that it's just that easy to come to somebody's side. And there are these cosmic connections that make it easier for us to come together, like here at the fair. Sometimes it's not easy, sometimes we have to overcome things, but the determination we feel inside brings us here, and in some way, it all happened, we're here. And I want to talk now about connection to self. And garlic is another Kao-Sidhe. So these are these cosmic connections. There's dragon food, there's Rosy Glow, and then there's garlic. I have a clove of garlic backstage. And it has roots. Garlic has roots. What's true about garlic? Garlic has roots. Garlic helped them get back to the planet by accessing garlic's roots on the planet Alessandra, which in our reality would be similar to the planet Earth. It's the human home planet, which they continue to live on while they live on many other planets in the cosmos. Which, what if it's true? What if our DNA has sailed along and found other planets and we're humans among other human-like people somewhere? So that's the reality they live in, and perhaps we also live in. And garlic is with the stranded princess ascendant, the space princess in a jumpsuit piloting a vehicle by people that nobody know about, intrepid, trying to discover the way to diplomacy in a time fraught with conflict. So she's hanging out with a bulb of garlic, a head of garlic, and garlic is helping her figure out how to manage a new power she's been given by a dragon. So she can make people see her differently. Suddenly she's a new person. So she asks, if you would please hold up with me and observe. Tell me if you can, how I'm doing or what you see. On. Off. On. Off. She was looking between her reflection and garlic, which was doing something strange. There was now another garlic next to garlic. At this moment, when not engaging the glamour, the garlic next to garlic looked exactly the same. With thought, Soleil consciously shifted some traits to those of a different person. And the garlic next to garlic looked like a different kind of garlic. The second garlic was about as different from garlic as the intended personage was different from Soleil. She examined different extremes of alteration, and garlic demonstrated the effectiveness back to her. All the while, the reflection in the floor remained the same to her. So there are lots of different kinds of garlic, and she ends up looking like lots of different kinds of humans, and it's almost as if there are as many types of garlic as there are of humans. Are there as many types of garlic as there are of humans, maybe? So, when she inquired, garlic demonstrated to her that her apparent reflection also matched the given illusion, with a head of garlic under the different garlic that matched the different garlic, not today's original garlic. A new thought occurred to her while she held an unusual glamour, one of an easily welcomed ally that should soon go on their own business. Garlic, if you touch me, do you feel that you touch the form that you see, or my usual form? The two different garlics hovered before her. Gently, they both approached to touch either of her cheeks. One drifted back, while remaining was the garlic of altered appearance. So then, garlic felt that it was touching what it could see. The altered garlic then moved back and floated in again to gently bop her on the nose. Then rested once more against the tip of her nose. So, the illusion was through! It was achieved with the help of a good friend. So, something if you feel like doing something right now with everybody around you, this is just like an interactive part of the story. Maybe you can do an appearance check with someone nearby. You can contact someone to your left or right and kind of kind of make a face or do something different to see how different you look, and they can reply to you with doing something as equally as different with themselves. So yeah, feel free to do something different and see how different it is. I'll soundtrack it. Okay, that was the transformational interlude. And so now we encounter dragon food trying to summon Rosy Glow, and Garlic trying to show Soleil how much like or unlike herself she might be as she tried. So there are some people doing some scientific research in an incredibly progressive underwater facility. So they've been doing something practically in secret with a lot of money, and it's been coming to a head, and they're trying to figure out how to complete their project. And from this amanita, I'm going to produce the dragons who were helping out with this research. There are literally some dragons there. Because dragons talk to scientists in this universe. They embody various cosmic elements. And people who want to learn more about anything in particular can seek the dragon that holds the key to that part of reality. And you can just imagine, because this amanita is here to remind us all that this is all imaginary. I write fiction. This is science fiction fantasy. You can enjoy the analogies, but it's all made up. It's all made up. It's all imaginary. And so the dragons are helping with this research, and everything's been happening, and somebody who brought the right dragon to the right people, which would be nice sometimes, right? Right dragon, right people, right moment. It's these folks, Rosy Glow and Dragon Food, who did that. And they did that because they know things about who does what and what's important to who. And this is Akamar's realm, and they're there, and it's all happening. So sometimes in science there are chaotic elements. These are elements of reality that are part of the way things are. And in this universe, science and magic are pretty much the same thing. So they have connections that are evident to people as like they are to us. Whatever seems normal to us might be incredibly magic, an act of will, an act of the idea of imagination, and then suddenly it's real. You're all incredibly magic. But you're also science, and that's the way this is working out to be. And so they're going to do something they've never done before, and something that's never happened before, and something they didn't think was going to happen is starting to happen, and that's the only way it's going to be. So here we are. There were the two Kao-Sidhe with them at the peak. They had accompanied the elemental they guided to this invitation, and were occupying some upper wall space with a lot of apparent activation. Rosy Glow was raptly reflecting the extra-dimensional palette before her petal eyes. Dragon Food was looking especially well put together, zesty and sparkling with flair, glistening with sauciness, and hot from the fire as he took in the dance of two dragons up ahead. there's your tiniest, tiniest dragon dance. Whew. Anybody want to get up and dance with these dragons? Okay. Do something kind of mystical and flowy, like you're going to create magic. If you'd like to dance, you can get up and be the dragon dance up here. But yeah, if you'd like to kind of embody some dragon dancing, now would be a great moment. And I can as well. So that's the dance of two dragons, and dragon food, he couldn't resist his own irresistible nature, and he began to float forward. Buck's Woollybee's head turned as dragon food drew level with where he was standing on the bridge. He reached out to try to catch what might be a foot or a trailing wisp of aroma, right here. But the she was at this moment incorporeal. Dragon food continued onward, and his look turning more determined and courageous. Bucks waggled a pointing finger after him as the Kao-Sidhe approached the view pane. Arjun noticed and understood. Walking calmly over, he reached out a hand that passed right through Dragon Food's currently diminutive form, which continued forward with stubbornly singular focus. Arjun looked at Soleil. Soleil looked at Rosy Glow, who was enraptured both by the otherworldly sunset and by her love, flying into it. "Can you do anything about that?" Soleil asked her road friend. "What is he doing?" "I don't know," murmured Rosy Glow, "and probably not. We, our kind, have to be what we are, or we wouldn't exist. I believe right now he's going to be what he most truly is. I love him for exactly that. I don't think I could stop him if I tried, and I've never tried. But is he going to be okay? Are we going to be okay? How could I be the one to answer that?" She looked back toward Dragon Food and the sunset, swooning helplessly. "Can you blind him? Confuse him?" "Me? No. Well, he might argue differently, and trying might ruin this first. Isn't there more time left in the song?" At this moment, Dragon Food passed through the viewing pane and out into the aqueous area inside the permeable, torrential slip field. So suddenly, he exits the underwater facility and is in the ocean. What is he doing in the ocean in the middle of the experiment? Oh, what in the world is all these billions coming to with a fae creature, fae being who represents delicious, delicious, rare, extremely wonderful dragon food going out into the ocean in the middle of the music? With one hand out toward what just happened, Arjun demanded of Rosy Glow, Where are your limits? What are your limits? Could he always do that? Always? No, I can't imagine so. He's doing it now. Doing what? Asked Darshan. His thing. Her hypnotized expression turned into an anticipatory grin. Arjun's thoughts raced. They've been working on this for academic ages. This wouldn't exactly be happening right now without these two or this one apparently determining his role. This was now occurring on its own. They couldn't have guessed or tried for this, and this has to be it. We're already getting more than we ever have, and giving more than we ever have. We now have to pay attention, save everything we can of this moment. He looked around the room, checking the reactions of the research crew. Instrument reading techs in all their fields appeared to understand the gravity of these observations, doubling down on their focus, accuracy, and detail. No one had any idea what to expect when they started out, and not in the next phase or this next. They knew how to handle not knowing. They were here for real science. So that is Bones of Starlight, and those are two what I have called side characters in Bones of Starlight. They're all really important. And it's a gigantic ensemble, which you would think of an interplanetary space epic. And we're right there with them. It all happens in an alternate universe. And here we are, home in space, with space all around this beautiful rock that is constantly moving through it, with space between us as people that we can make smaller or bigger. And what we are, love, and do is in some way everywhere. And there are these beings I thought up in a story that remind us about that show up wherever they happen. And something is always somewhere else, and in a way that doesn't lessen us, that makes us greater and more connected. And these beings kind of, it's easier to see them if you believe that you saw them. It's easier to know them if you believe they're there. And so, part of their message is believe yourself, and believe in yourself, and believe you saw us, and you may be able to see us. Remember everything you want to keep. Waking is not just for when you sleep. So thank you. I have some books. This omnibus is the most recent publication I have, and it's in the bookstore. It collects the entire trilogy, which is the best form of the story, I think, the complete work, as well as the appendix, and it's available for $72, and I will gladly sign it if you find me after this or at any other point, and I might just show up to make sure they're all signed, at the bookstore right over yonder, right across the way. Yay, thank you. And so it's another half hour until the next performance. There's some really good literary arts coming up, so there we go. That's the end of our story moment. Thank you all.
Give it up for Eva Iglesia. Beautiful soul. Thank you so much for presencing you and your amazingness here. The cosmic connection has been rebuilt and restored. Thank you, Eva. Yay. And please get the book. It's right up there in the front, and